Back, David Viscott here with Arlene Guillen. Who do we have, Arlene?
Okay, I've got Lisa. She's on line B.
Okay.
And she's worried because she didn't have safe sex.
Lisa.
Hello?
That's a young voice, Lisa. How old are you, Lisa?
I'm 13.
You didn't have safe sex?
Oh, well, only a couple of times.
What's the question?
Well, I want to know how I can get protection because I'm so young, but I can't buy it and I can't ask anyone else.
Lisa,
Yes.
I'm going to talk to you real straight, okay? And I'm going to take all the romance out of this. If you can't protect yourself, you shouldn't be having sex. I'm not saying you shouldn't be having sex, but if you're worried the way you're worried about whether or not you have AIDS, obviously, right?
No.
You're worried about whether or not you had safe sex means you're worried about getting the venereal disease, right?
Well, more I'm getting pregnant because I know that.
If you are in that position and you're asking me, how do I get protection, then you're over your head. Do you swim?
Yes.
Are you a good swimmer?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the days when you couldn't swim?
No.
No. Can you imagine if you couldn't swim and someone took you out in the deep water and said, go swim? How terrified you'd be?
Yeah.
You'd be afraid that you'd go under, right?
Yeah.
Because you might swim a few strokes and then you'd start losing control.
Yeah.
That's where you are right now. And you're not paying attention to your feelings. Your feelings are saying, I'm scared. And what's more, I don't know how to get help. All right. There's a way to get help. I mean, you go to Planned Parenthood. Can you do that?
No.
You can't do that. Why can't you do that?
Because I'm too young.
You're too young, okay? Could you go into a drugstore and buy condoms?
No.
Could your boyfriend go in a drugstore and buy condoms?
No.
Guess what?
What?
This is why there is such an epidemic of AIDS in young people.
But I know I can't have AIDS from it.
How could you not?
Because we're both afraid.
I know that sounds strange, but that story's been told. If you're not using protection, you're in danger. Period. I know you don't believe me, and I speak a barbarous tongue, huh?
No, I believe you.
Well, I mean, if you believe me, you're playing, go and, if you want to have sex, go out and get your boyfriend to buy condoms. Why are you having sex with him anyhow?
Because we enjoy it.
Is that the reason?
Well, I know I love him.
Does he love you?
Yes.
Then if you prove that he loves you, tell him to go out and get some condoms.
That's true.
Yeah, well, that's true. You see, the other thing that's hurtful to me to hear you, I mean, I can only talk to you like you're my daughter, you know what I mean? Is that you don't think enough of yourself to say that to him.
Well, I have.
No, and he doesn't do anything about it.
Look at the last times I've got it.
Listen to me. Just listen to me. Where you are going right now is in a place where you are not knowledgeable enough or sure of yourself enough to be safe. Some 13-year-olds are safe because they know what the story is. They can go into a drugstore and say, give me a dozen of these and I'll take the ones that are in yellow and I'll have a couple of blue ones. They can do that because they're not ashamed of it and they're gonna handle it. But you're not handling it. You're not being good to Lisa. You're being terrible to Lisa. You're putting Lisa in the worst possible place you can be in. What are you thinking? Come on.
I don't know what to think.
Well, what do you want to think? You just want to go on having sex and get lucky?
No, I want to know how I can protect myself.
Well, one, you should be on the pill, and two, you should be using condoms. because condoms are not 100% safe, because they break, and if it's the first time for both of you, he probably doesn't even know how to use them properly, right?
No.
Don't kid yourself. I mean, who showed him?
I don't know. Well, then I guess you're right.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna argue with you and be an adult that you can say, oh boy, I spoke to Viscott, he was a real pain. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. You want to know how you can be safe. Obviously, you're scared, right?
Yeah.
All right. Go to Planned Parenthood. Go to your mother and say, I've got to be on the pill. I'm having sex.
I can't do that.
Then what are you doing? If you can't take care of your own problem and you can't go to your mother, you shouldn't be doing it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying you are a child. You cannot take responsibility for yourself. You can't cross the street. You want to play in the traffic. What do you want me to say to you?
I do.
Lisa, come on. Go to Planned Parenthood. They don't have to tell your mother. Go to your family doctor. Tell them you need a prescription for birth control pills.
I don't have one.
You don't have a family doctor? Then go to Planned Parenthood.
How?
Call them up look them up in the book and call them up. And you go down to the nearest office and talk to them.
Okay.
And you start there. But you know something? You are an accident about to happen. And your anxiety is there for a very good reason. Anxiety is the expectation of being hurt. That means your feelings are telling you that you are in danger. You got that?
Yes.
And you are in danger. Because you're not mature enough to handle the situation you put yourself in. And if this young man had any sense and wasn't just trying to grab a quick piece off of you, I know I got to be gross about it, and you weren't just experimenting with it, then he would be taking some care of you. But he has no responsibility either. And that's the name of that tune, sweetheart. And I'm not passing judgment on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be your friend because you don't have one right now. Because he's not your friend. He's not responsible enough to be your friend. And you're not your own friend. And your mother's not your friend because you can't talk to her. So stop, go to Planned Parenthood, and get your act together. You want to play like an adult? Act like an adult.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Lisa,
Uh-huh.
you've crossed over the line. You're not a baby anymore. You're having sex. Guess what?
What?
You're in the pool. And in that pool are diseases, and if you don't get it through your head by now, that the disease that's an epidemic in our society will take you away if you get it. It's 100% fatal. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And we wonder why it's out of control. Look at the failure of our school system. Look at the failure of parenting. Look at the failure of this government and the inability of the President Reagan to say the words AIDS for years. Look at what we've done. Look at this. And we wonder why we're in danger. These are our children. We don't have a system to cope with this. It's just getting out of control. When will we begin to do the right thing? I don't know.